Fun is the word. Now, we love this cookbook here at The Circle, and I've cooked from it heaps of times, and we're now thrilled to welcome two of the Monday Morning Sisterhood. Put your hands together for Lisa Goldberg and Merelyn Chambers. Welcome, girls. Welcome to The Circle.
What a fantastic idea and concept.
So great. Congratulations on it. I've loved every recipe that I've made from it. I think I've made about 10 recipes from your book.
And the wonderful thing about it is that how often you recipe tested it. You went through the recipe 3 or 4 times, so everyone can be guaranteed that the recipes are absolutely going to turn out.
We just wanted everybody to be able to cook from it. Everybody, like us, home cooks, that's it.
And what are you doing for us today?
It's really one of our favourite recipes, cinnamon buns, or bulkas as we like to call them.
Yep.
And it's, it's dough with yeast, which a lot of people are scared of, but there's nothing scary about it.
And this has got a lovely tradition in the Jewish community, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When do you cook this dish?
The family who gave us this dish, the Maya Robertses, make this when a friend or a family member is about to have a baby. They hear that the mother's going into labour and they go home and they make this dough. They're feeling anxious, they're waiting for good news. It's a way of them doing something, and they have this beautiful smelling, delicious buns that they then take to the mother and the newborn baby.
That's a lovely tradition.
So we thought we'd do it for Chrissy.
Okay, it's a mitzvah, exactly.
Would you like that? All right, let's get started.
Okay, so we're going to start with the yeast, and this is the part that scares everyone. But what we do is we test that the yeast is active, and then you know it's going to work.
Yeah.
Okay, and the way to test it's active is to put it in a little bowl, the yeast, a bit of sugar, and warm water. And people stress because they don't know what temperature the water should be. But the cook who made this recipe said to us, half room temperature water and half kettle water.
Right.
So that's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, so we've got half a cup of water, which is going in there. And then we're going to mix it with a spoon. You don't need to stress about dissolving it, just a little bit dissolved.
Sure, and that
like
activates it with the sugar and the warmth, doesn't it?
So we actually did one of these 10 minutes ago, actually 20 minutes ago.
Oh, wow, and look how it froths up.
Is what it's going to look like. If it doesn't froth up like that, toss it out and start again, because it might mean the yeast is past its use-by date or not active. Imagine if you made the whole dough and it didn't rise, you'd be pretty annoyed. At least you know you've only wasted this little bit of yeast and water.
Okay.
So next step is to get a big bowl, and you need a big bowl because you have to get your hand in and your arm in a minute. So we've got flour, we're going to add sugar.
Yum.
And a teaspoon. You're excited.
You're ready to go. And
a
Lisa,
teaspoon of salt.
That's just any old flour, just a plain flour?
Any plain flour,
okay.
yep. And you mix that together till it's combined.
Yep.
And then you're going to make a well in the centre. And a well just means you're going to make room in the middle of the flour to put some liquid ingredients in. Now, the way I like to think of this recipe is 2 jugs on the bench and your little bowl. In one jug, we're going to put the cream, the milk and the eggs. And Merelyn's going to do that.
I've got the big job.
You do. You're busy, Merelyn.
And in the second jug, you're going to put your melted butter and your oil. Okay?
Now, how did you get the women to part with their recipes? Because
that's the fascinating thing, isn't it?
Yeah. It took a long time. In the beginning, we'd say to people, we've heard that you're a great cook. And everyone says, I'm not that good. And it took a while. So we were asking and asking. We asked people to refer other people. And eventually we came up with a list of recipes that we started testing.
A lot of the recipes really are the ones that you really covet. You really want them to impart that information to you. And please tell me the secret recipe. And often it's not just Jewish mums, but often people don't want to share their secret recipe.
And we wanted the recipes that they nurture and love their families with, that people want to go over and smell in their houses, or the memories of their mother or grandmother that they crave. So we got those things.
Well, that's the lovely thing about the book, because as well as the recipes, you get these amazing stories, because so many, obviously a lot of Jewish communities in Australia have come from so many different countries. So you've got South African Jewish recipes and Eastern European Jewish recipes.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what's great about the book. It actually is like a snapshot of our community. People from all over the world that have ended up in Sydney. They're Jewish people, but they've come from everywhere, either this generation or 8 generations ago, and that's what we love about it.
All right, we're going to have a look at this when it turns into a dough when we return with Lisa and Merelyn. Please thank them for getting us this far with our cinnamon buns. Now, coming up, a very cute way to send your pets on holiday. We'll be back after this.
Well, we're back in the kitchen with the Monday Morning Sisterhood to infuse cinnamon into the studio. Now, girls, you've been doing some cinnamon buns for us today. What stage are we at now?
Okay, so this is the dough that's been rising that we made earlier. It's risen for 2 hours, and it's It's been nurtured and coddled, is what we like to think, wrapped in the warmest blanket so it can grow.
That's actually a baby blanket.
Yes.
That's lovely.
And how long have you left it for?
It needs a couple of hours. It needs a
Right.
good 2 hours in a lovely warm place, and then you have to knead it for 10 minutes. And I just put the oven timer on and knead for 10 minutes.
And it looks
I
like a
need,
beautiful soft dough.
Yeah, it is absolutely soft and squishy, and the smell. I
that
mean,
yeast.
you want to dive into it actually. So then we would knead it for 10 minutes, which we've done already, until you have a beautiful soft ball of dough. And then we're going to divide it into 3 to make the buns. So just cut it into 3 bits.
So sensuous.
Oh, can you have a feel of that?
Oh, beautiful. I have got clean hands, I should
that
point out.
divine?
So traditionally you use cinnamon, but you can use all sorts of different fillings for it, can't you?
I'm using chocolate, which we've decided we love. But the dough is really versatile. So Lisa has to cut hers into 3, but I'm making Barbie's celebration babka. And you have 6 lots of dough, and you don't cut it afterwards. You just plop them in and squish them into a cake tin.
Yep.
And but at home I do it with jam and nuts as well. And you can make all different shapes. Just get into it and play with it.
So could you freeze it at this stage and then just thaw out the dough and make it as you need it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
And you can also make the whole thing and then freeze that in the tin and then take it out, let it come to room temperature and bake it. So friends drop in cinnamon
something
buns.
there.
Oh, heaven. And they'd think you were so clever.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't they?
Love that. Gotta love that. So then you just make like an A4 size rectangle and you're putting on melted butter. Don't cringe, it makes it delicious.
Oh, I'm not cringing.
I've put on too much butter, so.
So Merelyn, what are you putting on there with the chocolate?
I've grated dark chocolate and 200 grams of dark chocolate in total for the 6 buns, with 5 tablespoons of sugar to just sweeten it up a little bit.
And over here we've got cinnamon getting sprinkled on.
Yeah, so we've made cinnamon sugar, which is 2 tablespoons of ground cinnamon with a cup of sugar.
Wow.
And we're
so
sprinkling it on from edge to edge.
Yep.
So it's covered. Get every edge.
And over there, Merelyn, you're putting that in an angel cake tin. So it'll sort of get that very tall shape, won't it?
It comes up joining up like a cake, a ring cake.
And then you can pull it apart and it's little
Let's
bits.
have a turn. Do you want to have a turn?
Yes, I do.
Come on.
So this one we roll into a log and then we've got to cut it into the buns.
Yeah.
It's a bit
So
messy, but
trim the ends
there you go.
and then I cut it in half so I can measure because it has to be 6 equal pieces and each half goes into 3.
Yum,
You
look
should
at
feel
that.
Oh, and the smell of the cinnamon sugar. And then you just press it with the heel of your hand, just like
You
this.
flatten it down a
And you
bit.
flatten it down a bit, and that's your bun.
And the wonderful thing about your cookbooks is that all the money is going to charity. How much
Yeah.
money have you raised so far?
I've got to say we're so excited.
I can't believe it.
We
Really
can't believe
saying
it. We've raised $150,000 for charity.
That's amazing. That's phenomenal.
It really is. We're still pinching ourselves.
Wow, congratulations, well done.
I heard when Chrissy and I were so crazy excited and we kept texting each other photos of our various cakes that we'd cooked from the cookbook. And we heard that you sold out of some bookstores that was doing so well, the cookbook.
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We're just about sold out our second print run, which we're just so proud and excited about, I must say.
So how can people get the book if they want to?
At a bookshop, but also on our website, mondaymorningcookingclub.com.au. There's a plug.
That's good. All right, can you watch and just tell me if I'm doing this correctly? A little bit of butter.
Couple of tablespoons of butter.
Yep.
And then generous with the chocolate
With
on
the
top and then
grated
roll it up.
chocolate. This is so fun. This is the sort of thing that I could get my daughters to do.
Oh yeah, kids would love it.
They'd love it.
The girls who this recipe comes from, whenever they used to be bored when they were young, their mum used to make dough for them to play with, and it was part of their family activities. And they used to just make dough and knead and play with it together, and it's such a beautiful thing.
Well, girls, thanks so much for coming in, and congratulations with the success of the cookbook. That's just fantastic.
This is what it looks like.
Yeah, so make sure you get it.
Monday Morning Cooking Club. I bet those hands look familiar.
Well, we'll be sharing this little tea party at the end of the show. After the break, we'll take a look at some of the fun to be had at the snow. You're watching The Circle.
Merelyn and Lisa, it looks beautiful. I'm scared to put my hands in, but may I tear it apart?
Just dig in.
And when you're serving this,
Listen to the poor audience.
No, the audience, they can smell it.
Yumbo. And how
magic.
Cool for kids to be able to pull these apart.
And how cool for the kids to be able to make them
We love the
too.
soft bits in the middle. We
Yeah,
fight
that's my
over them.
favourite.
Oh, the soft bits
Girls,
are
you've
the
done
good
such a
ones.
great
Got no
job.
glasses.
Suits
Thank
you
you.
to me.
And Merelyn, what's this cake in the middle here?
Oh, that's my mum's secret recipe. It was a secret for about 50 years.
Is it in the book?
Yes, it is.
It's not a secret anymore.
No, it's not. And I made it. It's the custard chiffon. I made it for my
Yeah.
mum's birthday in June. It was delicious. Well, thank you so much for watching at home. Special thank you to Lisa and Merelyn from the Monday Morning Cooking Club.
Thank you guys. Well done.
And to Indira and Naidoo. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the morning, we get to chat to this year's MasterChef winner, the legendary Kate Brax, and the guy she pipped to the top spot, Michael. Demographer Bernard Salt will be back with some advice on how to deal with census night. Are you really a Jedi? We'll meet Brooke from The Bold and the Beautiful, actress Catherine Kelly Lang, and loads more. Please have a great day and make sure you come back to join us in the morning from 10 a.m. See you later.